when was the last time you played a JRPG? Hello everyone, and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we are taking a look at a JRPG. Now if you haven't heard of a JRPG, it is a Japanese role-playing game, and the game I am talking about is Yakuza Like a Dragon, which dropped yesterday late for people to purchase. This is a game that's completely cross-platform. We now have some initial reviews in on the game. We're going to take a look at Metacritic and take a look at IGN. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to support smaller channels. All right, let's jump right into this. Now, if you have not heard of this series, the Yakuza series has been going on for a very, very long time. And Yakuza Like a Dragon would be the 8th installment if you are looking at English release. But there has been so many spin-off games that really it could be Yakuza 16. It just depends on how you look at it. But as far as English releases, this is really number 8. And it was published by Sega. Now, the main description of it is a low-ranking Yakuza grunt left on the brink of death by the man he trusted most. Take up your legendary bat and get ready to crack some underworld skulls in this dynamic RPG combat set against the backdrop of modern-day Japan. It's on Steam right now, available for PC, and it'll put you back only $60. Yep, AAA title, AAA price. Of course, you can get the Hero Edition for $70 and the Legendary Edition for $90. Now, moving over to Metacritic. Right now on PC, it has 15 critic reviews in, and it is currently getting a score of 81, right? So B-, I mean, that's green, it's a good score. As always, I like to read the highest positive comment and the lowest comment. So right now, under positive is under Windows Central. Yakuza Like a Dragon swaps out its long-running protagonist and gameplay tropes to magnificent results. The team at Sega has handcrafted one of the most absurd, most entertaining, and most fun JRPGs I've played in years. Okay. Lowest comment, IGN. Yakuza Like a Dragon takes some bold steps in a new direction for the series, but neglects to maintain its balance. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is play for you the very entertaining, almost 2-minute launch trailer for this game. I thought it was hilarious when you get to the point where it has adults in diapers. Yes, it is exactly what it seems. Some people are into that, just deal with it. Enjoy the 4K launch trailer for Yakuza Like a Dragon.
All I wanted to be was a hero. I saw my life's path ahead of me.
Ichi, would you be willing to get arrested for the family? Reputation is everything. If a Yakuza shows weakness, he's done.
I've been waiting to open this door for 18 years.
Here comes the hot stepper.
A dream is what keeps you going. So I say you do it. Just like you wanted. Become a hero. Let's start a brand new age of heroes.
Well, this just got complicated.
Yes, we must reply.
Why do you always attract the weirdos?
Time to call a friend!
You sure know how to make an entrance.
Here comes the hot stepper.
You can tell us what the hell is going on here.
Get this man a diaper.
Huh?
Yeah, man. So what
I'm sure all of us here are a little crazy, but that's the best part of being friends.
Let's get nutty!
Something I failed to mention earlier in the video is I am a big fan of Yakuza games, JRPGs are normally a whole lot of fun, but no, unfortunately, I have not played this game yet. That $60 price point with how many other games I currently have, I think I'm going to wait until it drops to that $29.99 price. Hopefully it is sooner than later. Now, what I'm going to do is close out this video with the current updated IGN review. So if you want to hang out, they have dropped everything that they feel about this game, and it is a fairly good breakthrough from somebody that has played the game literally from beginning to end. So hang out if you want to check out that review. If you have not joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We only need a couple more members to hit that 400 mark. Great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description. Thank you all for watching. Stay home, stay safe. Do not forget to join the official Action RPG Discord. Aaron, out.
The Yakuza games have always been about delivering serious beatdowns, but the development team behind Yakuza Like a Dragon has taken arguably the boldest swing in the series to date. A shift from the reflex testing beat-em-up action of previous games to a more structured, turn-based JRPG-style combat system successfully manages to introduce a more tactical form of team-based street fighting without sacrificing any of the series' signature flair. A lengthy late-game level grind made completing its story more of a drudge than it needed to be though, meaning that although I found Like a Dragon to initially be as refreshing as a can of Suntory Highball,
Really tasty.
by the end I felt as weary as someone who'd had a few cans too many. The switch to turn-based combat might be the biggest change in Yakuza Like a Dragon, but it isn't the only one. An entirely new cast of characters and a sprawling Yokohama setting combine to enhance a story that, while entertainingly bombastic throughout, doesn't really stray too far from the types of complex criminal conspiracies and preposterous plot twists that have become the standard for almost every mainline Yakuza game and spin-off to date. Main protagonist and ex-Yakuza clan member Ichiban Kasuga is a likable hero who wears his heart on the sleeve of his apparently mandatory leisure suit. However, it's the bonds he forms with the three other main characters who join him in his justice-seeking quest that really set Yakuza Like a Dragon apart from its predecessors in terms of drawing me into its world.
Everyone's going through something. Having a friend to talk to just makes it a little easier.
Being a Yakuza game, Like a Dragon never suffers a shortage of street thugs waiting to bully you out of your bento box money. Yet while you might assume that a switch to turn-based combat would slow the speed of each brawl down to a crawl, fighting still manages to feel fluid and energetic despite the pauses in between individual attacks. This is thanks largely to every character in the scrap being in constant movement, and certain real-time inputs like perfect parries that keep you locked in during every fighting moment. But what really brings the spectacle to each turn-based beatdown is the sheer variety and complete insanity of the enemy types. While some of these are mere garden variety goons, the vast majority of villains are as loopy as a bowl of soba noodles, seemingly just as likely to crash a costume party as they are to smash your face in. Each dishes out their own unique sets of hilariously unconventional special moves that can inflict traditional status effects. Yeah, he's not the only one stunned into silence. Luckily, your own Fabulous Four have no shortage of spectacular moves at their disposal either. Individually, they're high impact and often hilarious.
Someone order a fruit platter.
But it's the combinations in which you employ them that gives this new brand of Yakuza combat a far more strategic edge than ever before. And besides, when was the last time you saw a man slap an excavator with a wad of cash? Unfortunately, the healthy variety of enemy types and wacky special moves only goes so far, and my enthusiasm for the fighting system eventually started to wear as I hit the final few chapters of the story. It's here that you face a series of boss fights that escalate significantly in difficulty, and the need to grind for levels really becomes apparent. I won't reveal any of the late game bosses here to avoid major spoilers, but please accept footage of this giant vacuum cleaner as a metaphor for how massively it sucks when you go from winning every fight comfortably to suddenly facing bosses capable of killing you in one hit. Your main options for farming XP are either to repeatedly slog through the drab concrete hallways of the Yokohama Underground Arena, or tackle the 30 floors of the Sotonbori fighting arena, which at least present a bit more variety. Yet neither of these two dedicated dungeon areas feature enemies that scale with you each time you restart them, meaning you only see relatively diminishing XP returns with each subsequent trip.
I did it!
All up, I'd estimate that I spent around 10 to 15 hours in the late game grinding my way to levels high enough to be able to overcome each of those last few bosses, slowing my progress through the story to a halt just as it was very clearly trying to accelerate towards its climax. Sadly, the closing chapters of this latest Yakuza story felt less like a dragon and more like a drag.
This sucks.
The one thing I never got tired of was merely existing within the Yokohama setting. In a year where many of us have barely visited neighbouring cities, let alone countries, the virtual tourism aspect of this latest Yakuza game felt more valuable to me than it ever has before in the series. Not only is Yokohama much larger than the Kamurocho and Osaka areas from previous games, it's also far more diverse. And as is typical for the series, there's no shortage of peculiar residents to interact with.
Hey, dude, have you lost it?
Or addictive activities to discover. While the grinding loops I endured late in its main story path had me wearily watching the clock, very little outside of the story ever felt like a waste of time and effort. Yakuza Like a Dragon's colourful turn-based combat, engaging lead characters, and detail-rich setting make for a refreshingly different and mostly thrilling installment in the long-running Japanese crime series. However, a number of escalating difficulty spikes in its closing chapters made completing its story feel like much more of a repetitive slog than any of the previous games. While I applaud the developers for daring to transform its established brawling into more tactically complex team-based battles, the increasingly grueling progression system it brings along with it means that Yakuza Like a Dragon ultimately takes some bold steps forward in a new direction for the series, but neglects to completely maintain its balance.